We're very pleased to have our next guest on, a fantastic 12-year career in Major League Baseball. He was a very, very popular Blue Jay and a huge reason this team went from being okay to perennial contenders. Also doing some great work this weekend with Jays Care Foundation as well. Turn Back the Dial weekend is a big thing going on with Lloyd Mosby, George Bell, and, of course, our next guest, he is Jesse Barfield. It's great to have you on our show again, Jesse. We appreciate the time.
Thanks for having me. This is a lot of fun.
Yeah, you guys knew this weekend was happening, got the bobblehead. You've been there, done that in Major League Baseball. You probably didn't think you were touching down into the hottest story in Major League Baseball, and certainly the hottest this city's been since just after you did play here.
Well, this has been phenomenal, not just for Toronto, but for the Canadian nation. I mean, we go all over the country, and people are loving the Blue Jays. They're loving what's happening, and we're backing them 100%. This is great for baseball.
Have you ever been featured on a bobblehead before? It's kind of the new thing, right? A kid comes up playing in college or playing in the minors, and maybe it's like getting your first baseball card. I wonder when I'm going to get a bobblehead made. Is this your first?
Yeah, this is my first. It's pretty neat because, when they mention the Blue Jays, they always somehow mention our outfield, and it was a good one. We had a lot of fun out there, and we were an integral part of our success, but we had a lot of pieces of the puzzle, and we were just a part of it.
You were the first of these guys. None of these guys, and you and George, and you played obviously in the playoffs in '85, and Lloyd going to Detroit, George going to the White Sox. You were traded first. When you reflect back on this, there had to be some excitement going to the New York Yankees, but I'm sure you felt like, I don't know what's going to happen in Toronto, but there's unfinished business here with me going to the Bronx.
You knew that team was going to go places and do things, but at the same time, I was happy with the situation. When you're on the other side, looking out, looking into playing the Yankees, you hated them. You didn't want to lose to them. You wanted to beat the crap out of them. But when you're in the pinstripes, it's hard to explain. It's a first-class organization. They do things right, and it's until you played for them, you can't understand that.
I want to ask you now about this particular team and acquisitions that have been made. Pat Gillick, when he was your GM, did his best year in, year out, and the money situation was a little different in Major League Baseball then. But when two guys come in a room, like Troy Tulowitzki, like David Price, Jesse, what can it do for teammates? You play the same way, you play hard, but there's that different feel to it, isn't there?
It is. I mean, you look at Tulowitzki, everyone knows what he can do. And he's coming off a small injury, but when that guy's 100%, he's dangerous. I mean, he's a great defender. Ball jumps off his bat, and he's a winner. He knows how to win as well. And that's not to take anything away from the people they traded. They're great players as well. But something about his swagger that I love. And if I'm pitching, I got to be real careful pitching to him. Even if I get him out, I'm going to burn some fuel. So it weakens the pitcher for the next guys. And Price, I mean, my goodness, that guy knows how to win. He knows how to pitch, and he's not afraid to take that ball.
You guys in your day they were just a terrific defensive outfield, and you've heard the quotes people south of the border are saying, that Blue Jays team, they're a beer league slow pitch team right now. We know they hit home runs. We know the pitching has been tremendous over the last 3 weeks, but the feeling when you get to the park and you watch some of these plays, they've really addressed their defense. We know what Kevin Pillar does, but all of a sudden there's Goins and there's Smoke. Tulowitzki's an upgrade. They bring in Ben Revere. As a team in the stretch run, how big is playing that tight D?
Because without defense, there's no way you can win tight ball games. And you're not going to slug all the time. I mean, you can forget it because pitchers are going to stop all that. And you look at guys like Donaldson, Colabello, guys, when he gets a chance. But Donaldson's approach at the plate, that to me is how you win baseball games. That guy is geared up to hit the ball the other way, and you mess around inside on him, he can hurt you there. And I just hope that rubs off on the other guys because they got so many guys in that lineup that could hurt you. No one particular guy or 2-3 guys, they don't have to carry you. The entire team can hurt you. So with that being said, these guys can go up there and just be themselves and just hit the ball where it's pitched and not try to do too much.
Jesse Barfield joining us on Brady and Walker. Before you go, curious to know you're going to see it this weekend. You already know what it feels like, but the fan interest has skyrocketed. Tickets have skyrocketed. It's been a long time here. You've been back enough times to know. It's been a long time since there was a winner. I always felt your fan base when you're coming up with George and Lloyd and Dominico Garcia at the old X, I felt like they were patient and they knew something was coming. So in 83, 84, there were steps along the way. Did you feel it change at some point, Jesse, to where, hey, they're backing us all the way, but now the booing's a little louder when there's an error, or they don't like something the manager does and they boo him? Did it switch at all because the demand and the expectation was higher?
I think so. And I really, when the Tigers had that 35-5 start, I believe it was back in 84, then the fans never gave up. Our team never gave up. Bobby Cox instilled a winning attitude in this entire organization, ball club, and each player. We all actually got it down to about a game and a half, 2 games, but we ran out of steam towards the end. But we showed each other that, we can compete with anybody. The next year, we won it all except for the World Series, of course, which I still need some therapy over, but we won't talk about that. It showed me there that, anything could happen in this game. And there's a lot of baseball left, and I like our chances here. But you don't count out the Yankees. You don't count out the Orioles. And I like the way the guys are handling it. They're not getting too excited. Yes, they're pumped. Yeah, they're going out there taking care of business. But at the same time, they realize it's one game at a time, one series at a time, one pitch, and one situation at a time.
It's Jesse Barfield. Jay's great here for Jay's Care and the Jay's Care Foundation's Rookie League this weekend, along with Lloyd Mosby and George Bell. It was great having you on our station. Folks always love hearing from you. I'm sure you'll be so busy and beloved all weekend. Thanks for doing this for us.
It's a pleasure, guys.
Make sure you get one of those bobbleheads, too.
Or 10.